Alright, this is what we're going to do today. We're going to do a tiki beach scene type of design. It's going to be on a beach towel. And most beach towels have two sides. One side where the nap is very low, in other words, the threads don't come out very far, and the other side, the nap comes out very far. You always paint on the side without the nap. Anyway, here is my stencil. This is a stencil that keeps an area basically clean, so that way I can have a clean area to work with, so I don't have to draw this all out. And drawing on towels is very difficult. This is a shield, and the reason why it's a shield is because I just put it places and use it real quick, and then I keep moving, whereas it's not being held down in any kind of way. So I'm shielding something from getting painted. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to blast in a quick horizon line. Okay, we're going to go across to the other side. We're going to blast in the other side. So now we got a quick horizon line. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little land line over here. And I'm going to just blast that in real mistily with some purple. The reason why we're doing that is because the purple is going to have some yellow put over it, and the yellow will turn it brown, because I'm going to want that to be brown. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just blast in like this, so that way we keep the edges over here, and we're going to put in like a little water line. Right now what's going on is I'm getting low on paint, so when I turn the bottle a little bit, we're getting a little bit of problems. What we're going to do is we're going to use the shield again. We're coming back to the shield. We're going to blast in some clouds. And what we do is we basically just blast this down. You want to keep the paint a little heavier when you're near the tops over there, so that way you get a more defined edge. And again, blasting this down. Okay. Next thing we want to do is we want to knock in the sun. Okay, so that's an easy sun right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in a half halo and kind of blend that in a little bit when you get to the edges, so those clouds kind of form into that. So it's almost like it's a rainbow, but it's not really. Okay, next thing we want to do is we want to take pink and blast in the pink. So the pink's going to blend up into the clouds and fill in the sky. And if you've ever painted anything, one thing that you'll know is that if you put something in the sky and you got water, you gotta put it in the water too, because the water reflects it. Kind of running low on pink here. What you hear right now is my compressor. Now we're going to do some work on the sun. The sun is pretty easy. I'm going to take some yellow, blast that in there. And what's nice is whatever pink came over, kind of gives it like an orangey glow, so it gives it a little texture effect. I'm coming with the black, and we're going to put in a name. Now what I'm doing is I'm thickening up the downstroke, so it gives it a more calligraphy type of look. Sculpt this so that way everything runs nice and smooth. Okay, so now we got a name in there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start filling in all of the holes in the stencil that give us some quick placement. Otherwise, I'd have to draw everything in here every time. But this right here lets me know the bottom of the crest. Right here lets me know that this cuts in. Again, we have another cut-in point. Part of the facial expression. That's the black in the mouth, behind the tongue, and the teeth. The nostrils, the bridge of the nose, the top of the mouth, the bottom of the mouth, tooth, the teeth over there, some more cutting spots, the bottom of the chin. Otherwise, I'd have to come in and find each one of these spots and kind of do a little bit of guesswork. Now, you'll see that I'm running my fingers along here, and the reason for that is because this is a towel. Towels have a lot of lint. So normally I would glue this down to a shirt, but if I glued this down to the towel, it would just pick up the lint, and then it would make it pretty useless whenever I wanted to do a shirt. So now what I can do is I can pull this off, and because I went up to all of the edges, you'll see I have a pretty clear line where everything is. Because I didn't glue it down, this area over here is a little bit iffy. But other than that, you can pretty much see where everything is. So, now the first thing I'm going to do is I want to come in here, finish the sunglass off because it goes to the edge. This right here is a cheekbone. So I'm going to fill in the cheekbone. I'm going to take the edge of the sunglasses and bring it off to the edge. I couldn't put these off there because otherwise the top of the head would separate from the bottom. So I have to keep that so that way we have a little bit of a gap there, and I have to ad-lib those in. So if you see over here, we're going to come down, we're going to connect this right here. Okay, so now we got our chin in there. Now this right here, you got to follow this. And there we got our lip. So we got our chin and our lip. That's a little cleft in the chin over there. Then we're going to bring the back of the mouth up. And now all of a sudden, we got a set of teeth. Now over here we've got another set of teeth. And that's simple. We got a bunch of teeth out of nothing. Then we got our tongue. Got our cheekbone. Got a nose. A little shadow on the nostril. And over here, all of a sudden, it's starting to look like something. Okay? So now, what we need to do is we need to start adding some color. Now, since this is a Tiki idol, first thing we should probably do is make it look like a little wood grain. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of brown, and we're going to create some wood grain in it. So we'll start over here at the bridge, and because this is wood, there's no two pieces that look the same. We just kind of go at any kind of curved out shapes, because the reality is it's gonna all change up with the coloring. Throw a little bit of shadow in there, follow some of the black in order to get some texture. So some wood patterns here. Anywhere you have a big section, throw in a little bit of brown and mist it over. And the brown kind of covers most of the stuff. You just want to kind of get a real feel that this is a three-dimensional object. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with some golden yellow. The golden yellow, it's kind of got a brown feel to it. It's kind of orangey brown feel to it. So when we lay it on top of the wood, all of a sudden something that looked like a bunch of sloppy brown lines is having the feel of wood. It's a real quick, simple way to create wood. And the #1 rule here is if you're not working fast, chances are you're not making any money. And that's the whole idea of what we're doing here. Normally I work with a multi-gun setup, but right now I'm just working with one gun. Which doesn't allow me to work quite as cleanly as I like, unless I spend a lot of time to clean out the brush. That's alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come back in with some purple, and we're going to shadow the letters. I'm going to go just slightly to the left of each letter. So it gives it that feel. Now we're going to shade under the Tiki, going away from the sun. So now what we're going to do real quick is we're just going to turn the ground here brown like we were supposed to before. And we're going to come in with the black. We're going to tighten up some of the lines, because some of the lines have lightened up when I put all these other colors on top of it. Like over here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. But now all of a sudden these lines are crisp. Especially going over the outside. And some of the inside lines. Just get that extra separation from the background to the front. We're going to use the black to come back up in here. Just throw a little bit of extra shadow in there. Just gives a little bit of extra depth. Makes it look a little more three-dimensional. And then the last thing to do is just to come in again with the purple and tighten up the purple and define the clouds a little bit more. So I want these edges of the cloud just to be a little more defined, and also at the same time we're making it so that way, even though we use the same. Okay, so what I'm doing right here is I'm just cleaning up these edges and making it so that way the same shield is creating different clouds. Blend it back up. I want to tighten up the horizon line a little bit. And this line over here is going to come out a little bit darker. There you go. It's a basic Tiki design. You could always work these things, but like I said, it's all about doing them fast.